welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another month, another edition of the Enki Pro Series number 2, your monthly Showmatch series. I'm of course VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing two players, by the people in the chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Whew, it has been quite some time. It's been quite some time since our last Enki Pro series. We were able to feature a Hero versus Beyond. That was last month. Now we are here with a fresh new best of 9 between Clem and Zoun. Oh my god, a spicy one here. Of course, a big shout to Enki. Enki, for those who do not know, he is el hermoso papi. Enki, he is the Spanish caster currently. The Spanish scene now mainly is organized and run by Enki. Enki, of course, from the land of Mexico, is almost the equivalent of like your Wardy or your Loco in the land of, I almost said Spain, in the Latin American region. And again, he has been organizing and hosting a lot of his own events. One of them, of course, being this new event, the Enki Pro Series. It is a new series of show matches, more or less a monthly. And again, last time we did cover Beyond versus Hero. It went all the way to the Ace match. It was a banger of a best of 9. I do recommend checking out the VODs. The VODs are on YouTube. The VODs are available. And it was an insane matchup. Now we have another TVP, but a very different kind of one. Clem versus Zoun instead. Let's go. If you're curious, these two, they have faced off many times as of late, especially throughout the course of December and January as well. It's been great to see them face off time and time again and go back and forth. We actually have seen Zoun defeat Clem, and we've seen Clem defeat Zoun as well. They have traded series, have gone back and forth. I want to say that Zoun's performance in December was the most impressive because he knocked Clem out of a Lima League early on, I want to say in the quarterfinals, and he shocked everyone as he was able to beat Clem in the late game. Was able to beat him in the late game, beat him like in like a 25+ minute game. It was like a crazy back and forth, a crazy series, and yeah, Zoun looked very impressive in that match, despite only recently returning from the military. Again, this was back in December of last year. Now, of course, it is a month or even almost 2 months later at this point. Both players have been still improving, and I'm excited to see how they fare against each other this time. I'm ready. I am excited. Whew. All the best of the CranKy Ducklings. Enki. Oh my god. Papi. It's the man of the hour himself, el hermoso, papi. Oh my god. Again, big shout to Enki. Big shout to Enki. Again, he is the organizer and does cast and host a lot of StarCraft over on his channel. Do check him out, 100%. And has been gracious enough to share us the replays of this event as well. We're here to catch up. As a reminder, this is a replay cast. These events did occur a couple of weeks ago. At the time, we were otherwise preoccupied covering, I think we were casting, was it Little League Cup? We were covering another event at the time, and unfortunately, we couldn't quite cast this live, but at least we are here going over those replays, and hopefully for the next Enki Pro Series, we'll be able to be there live to cover it and to bring it to you in English. That'll be the plan. That'll be the hope. At least for now, we do have our series, we do have our first game. We are jumping into Abyssal Reef for game number 1. Let's go. Let us go. So we are jumping into our first game of this best of 9 Showmatch series. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Abyssal Reef, we have our South Korean Protoss player, our blue Protoss. It is Zoun. Recently returning from the military and spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the French Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Team Liquid. It is Clem. Very soon, Enki Pro Series number 3. Let's go, Bobby. Let's go. I'm excited to hear the announcements and the announced players as well. Always. As we have been covering quite a lot of TVPs as of late. A lot of Terran versus Protoss. We here once again to face off, and again, I'm curious to see how basically the evolution of these two players. Again, they played so often over the past couple of months. It's been great to see Zoun's return to the pro scene as well. I say recently returning from the military. I mean, it's been a couple of months at this point. I want to say he came back in November-ish of last year, so it's been quite some time. Has been rising the ranks real fast and real quick. And I might even go as far as to say that Zoun is top 3 Protoss in Korea at the moment, maybe top 2. I currently do place Hero and Classic one step above, but even then, like, Zoun has been looking so impressive as of late that I don't know how confidently I can say that anymore, especially when it comes to Classic. Part of that is also because Classic has been a little bit less active over the past couple of months, basically January, December. He wasn't really too active as a player, but coming into February, Classic, we have seen more of him. True. We have seen more of Classic in recent times, so I'm excited to see how the hierarchy of the Protoss, or the green Protosses, do shake up over time. I'm excited. Until then, though, we're going to be opening up Double Gas opener here out of Clem, Double Gas into a faster factory, into a delayed CC, so something more tech-heavy here from our French Terran player. Meanwhile, Zoun opening up in more standard fashion. And again, welcome one and all to Abyssal Reef. This is a map that we don't often get to cast. It is often either vetoed or we just cover tournaments that don't allow it. Again, Abyssal Reef is not in tournaments like Pig Storm Monday, like Sparkling Tuna Cup, Tenacious Royal Tussle, the KSL. A lot of these events no longer do actually host Abyssal Reef, so it's exciting. It's exciting to see it here and now. It's a bit of a rarer sight nowadays, as we are going to be incorporating the standard tournament ladder map pool. Also exciting news, TLMC. As of today, we have our finalists. We have, I think, our top 20. I'd have to double check. But the Team Liquid map contest, the vetoing, the iteration phase has concluded, the filtering phase even, and public voting will soon be available. So exciting times here again. That was announced a couple of hours ago. We'll definitely be going over the TLMC during the podcast. There's definitely a lot to indulge in and a lot to be excited about for the Team Liquid map contest. And I know that I'm ready at least to eventually incorporate them into our own tournament map pool. Until then, Reapers, they do poke out. Again, with the Double Gas opener, we have reacted to Reaper Hellion. So Clem is going to be a little bit more assertive here. Oh no, the tuna! Oh no, there's a shark on it. Oh no. I will get rid of the tuna after this game. My apologies. This is from last night's cast. The shark gets stuck. Jesus. But now though, Clem is going to be reinforcing, and the goal here is to bust into the mineral line. We'll see if he can. So our KDA charge does knock the Stalker out of position. The first Stalker is going to go down. Oh, boy's being pulled away, but an overreaction there from Zoun. But from here, Zoun, he will be able to hold on. So far, so good. Again, this is the difficult thing about this map, is that the choke point coming to natural is just so narrow. It's so narrow, so difficult to push into. Despite that, it's going to try to, regardless, we'll take down the Adept. Going for the Stalker. Boys are being pulled, and how many workers can we kill? No! Oh my god, they line up. Probes, they line up for a moment. Another Stalker is going to go down, and Clem is forcing his way in. Yeah, forcing his way through. So far, it's going to be 4 probe kills. The Stalker is going to fall, and it looks like Clem, he has broken down. Yeah, the worker, the mineral line is going to fall. Shield battery's on the way, but it's too little too late, and Zoun is going to lose everything. Everything is falling. Despite having a narrow choke point, he did not fully wall off. Did not wall off. That's going to be 13 probe kills. And this is getting out of hand. This is becoming game-ending damage here. We have a Twilight Council on the way. We have Blink on the way even with that Twilight Council, but alas, it's not going to come into play. There's the Shield Battery overcharge, the NG overcharge, and that's still going to be 16 probe kills. And finally, this is going to be forced out, but this is game-ending damage. This is brutal. Entire mineral line went down. No! The mine shot! Oh my god. Calm down. The retargeting. 18 probe kills. And with that, Zoun, he survives, he deflects, but he sustained a lot of heavy damage. And with that, Clem takes a massive lead. He's ahead economically, he's building up back at home, bunker's on the way. This bunker's crucial just because he has to get ready for the counterattack. Basically, Zoun is all in. Zoun, he's all in, he's moving out with everything he has. And all Clem has to do is survive. Easier said than done. We have the tank, we have the would-be bunker, we have a couple of boys that we can pull, Marines are amassing as well, we have the Raven for the auto turret, and so far, we're looking pretty secure. Tank fully going up, bunker gets delayed, Stalkers are diving to the mineral line. Nice movement here by Zoun. Again, the pressure is on, he does get 3 SCVs, but only 3. And we'll still lose a Stalker in the process. As Clem will deflect. And yeah, GG gets called, not enough counter damage. And Clem, he takes a lead in the series. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very explosive way to start the series. As a reminder, he did go Reactor Reaper Hellion. He committed into additional Hellions and Reapers. He just doubled down and went across the map. And unfortunately, we saw that Zoun was barely not able to hold on. Against the first wave, he did hold, he did deflect, lost the Stalker in the process, but he wasn't able to fully wall off, or I should say, he didn't feel the need to. I'm sure he felt confident in his ability to defend with the bare minimum. We saw that wasn't the case. We saw that Last Shield battery was a little bit too late and that the wall off was otherwise required to try to survive. With that, the wall was open and eventually Clem, he did force his way through. It was a bit of a slow process because he initially killed the units, right? He killed a Stalker, then a Adept, then another Stalker, and then he got into the mineral line and it was game-ending damage. GG. GG, well played. With that, that leads us into our next game. That leads us into another map that we rarely see nowadays, also isn't in most of the turns that we cast, or at least half of the turns that we cast, but also is the most vetoed map in the map pool. Up next, loading into Neon Violet Square. Let's go. Let us go. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Neon Violet Square, we have the blue Protoss player from South Korea. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. I mean, it's that best of 9, but we got plenty of games ahead of us, plenty of games to come. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Red Terran player with Red Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 1-0 from land of France. It is Clem. Let us go. So we are going to be calming down and settling in. So far, so good. And again, welcome one and all to a Neon Violet Square, the largest map in the map pool. There's a reason why it is, I want to say, the most vetoed map as well. We rarely get to cast on this map, even in tournaments that allow it, and that is because of the size and because of how defensive it can be. God damn it, I forgot about the tuna. I'll get on it for the next game. Oh no, the tuna is going to be with us for the whole series. I can feel it already. But behind this, you have a pocket base available to you. Likewise, the natural is very defendable as well. I mean, despite how defendable it is, I mean, I was going to say the same about Abyssal Reef, 100%, right? How narrow that choke point is, it's easy to wall off and easy to fully secure yourself. That was not the case last game, as Zoun was caught with his pants down, but this time he probe scouts, and this time Zoun confirms single gas, faster CC. So Zoun knows he's safe. He knows that he is safe. He knows that there isn't going to be mass Reaper Hellion coming his way, so he can just calm things down, cut some corners, be a little bit safer, be more secure, and get ready for a longer game state. This is going to be a much more comfortable start for Zoun, more so than last game. So much more comfortable start. Again, likewise, it isn't just the size. The rush distance by ground is very long. You have a free pocket base. The natural, the third, and the fourth are also quite secure, easy to expand into. It is the sixth expansion, whether it's the gold base down bottom left or the northern base top right. These are the more difficult bases to really expand and really hold on to. But outside of that, the typical 5 base setup here, or 4 base setup, is looking relatively, 5 base setup is looking relatively easy to expand into, and we go for a Stargate opener. This makes a lot of sense. We talk about this all the time. Stargate play is usually really risky in TVP. It's usually really easy, or I say easy, it is very vulnerable to aggression and can be punished, but here on Neon Violet Square, it's large enough and safe enough to get away with. It isn't just that, no Reaper Cliff. There's no Reaper Cliff coming into the main base, so scouting here is also much more difficult. Clem right now, no SCV scout whatsoever, no Reaper scout. He's waiting for his Hellions to move out across the map. Clem is playing blind, he's playing in the dark, and Zoun should comfortably embrace his Phoenixes. Or Oracles. So Zoun should be able to get into his element here, coming into Neon Violet Square. This is the super secret Sparkling Tunica best of 7. Best of 9, Poppy. Best of 9. Almost. You know what else? Best of 9. What does that mean? That means no vetoes. True. 0 vetoes here between our players. They have to play, and all the maps are available. They're all available. Let's go. So far, ooh, 2-on-1. Interesting. So we are going for the second racks before the starport, early tech lab into early stim. This is going to be a very aggressive stim timing here for Clem, and I'm curious to see if Zoun is able to scout and confirm. Now, a 2-on-1 is designed to punish the Protoss player going Skytoss or opening up Stargate. 100%. Phoenixes don't really help too much against a mass amount of individual Marines, as all the Marines shoot up, they have stim, and what are you going to do, lift up one Marine at a time? We have seen many a Protoss player actually die to this build. This build is very rare, don't get me wrong, but specifically against Phoenix openers, this can excel. So right now, Clem is reading this very well. He didn't scout, didn't SCV scout, didn't Reaper scout, didn't scan either, but this does feel like he is assuming that Zoun is playing Stargate, which is a good assumption here on the Neo-Violet Square. Like, he's metagaming a little bit here. He's just, you know, based on the tendencies of this map, based on the tendencies of TVP on Neo-Violet Square, he's making an assumption, and so far, doing it well. As the first wave of Phoenixes are on the way. Likewise, Zoun going Phoenix Colossus. It is going to be a robo follow-up, potentially into a Bay, into Colossus production. Again, is quite greedy, but can try to get away with it. See if he does. Yeah, that's a lot of Marines. It's a lot of Marines, a lot of bio. Phoenixes, they rotate over in towards the main. They lift up the first Cyclone, not bad. And more importantly, they scout the tech. They scout the 3 Raxes. They scout the Sims in production. They get the Cyclone. Not much else. Yo, and Clem, he doesn't care. He ignores the army stim, finishing up in 5 seconds, and he does boost across the map. And now I have to pose a question. What is at home to defend? There's the recall. Does notice he's in danger. Back at home. We have, what, 4 Phoenixes, soon to be 5. 5 Phoenixes to defend. We have a sentry for force fields, a couple of adepts. The force fields are going to be crucial, and even then it might not be enough. We'll see if we can hold on. As Clem is stepping in. Dust him in. Alas, the Immortal does arrive just in time. Whew. And Zoun, he's holding on. He's holding on. The Phoenixes with the recall was just in time as well. Zoun is holding. He shuts down the Bio army. And so far, Zoun is shutting this down completely here. And Clem is missing his window. He's missing his window. That stim timing was meant to do damage. He's not done. Still rallying across the map, getting his 3rd CC on location. Clem is still pushing. He's spotted by the Observer. Zoun, he sees, he rotates. Keeping up with the movement here of Clem. And Zoun, he confirms that Clem, he's not committing. Zoun looking good. It's looking strong. And behind this, what do we see? Second Stargate. Second Stargate. There's the bay that we spoke about into Colossus. So Phoenix Colossus opener did get the safety Immortal just in time. And there's still a lot of pressure on Clem. He needs to be more active. Zoun, he barely doesn't quite spot the move out. Uh-oh. Barely doesn't spot it. Army is somewhat in position. And reinforcements getting caught out. Not bad. Distracting Clem. Buying time. He does force Clem back. Does force a stim. Getting into +1 air attack. And now Zoun is ready. Zoun, he is ready for this. I'm rotating over. Getting his 3rd. It looks like Clem, he's recognized that he cannot break his opponent, so now he's just vying for map control. He's just vying for map control. He's getting his 3rd base up and running, transitioning out of this, or working towards Marauders, Widowmites, until eventually Ghost Academy. Zoun, he's done it. He has done it. He has gone away with his opener. Now he's getting his pocket base, getting a 4th. And again, that's a free 4th base as well. Typically, this army would be threatening the 4th base and maybe even canceling on a standard map. But here on Neo-Violet Square, the 4th base is safe and sound. Again, there's a reason why this map is often vetoed. Like, it's rare. It's a very, very rare map to cast on. Into a 2nd Stargate, a 3rd Stargate into Skytoss. Let's go. Zoun rushing into Skytoss. And again, it is relatively safe to do so. Currently, Clem is unaware. Clem is unaware of what's going on. Building up his own Viking count against Colossus and the Phoenixes. Still unable to force his way in. From here, he can start working on a 4th CC. There it is. 4th CC is on the way. Bracing a longer game state. Nice snipe. Takes out the Observer. catch the observer. It's gonna be Phoenix range on the way. Let's go. I assumed it was gonna be for there it is. I was gonna say I assumed it was gonna be for Skytoss. Carrier production has begun. And again, I would have said that this is the same kind of setup we would have seen on Abyssal Reef, but Clem was able to end the game early on, so he was able to avoid the late game. But Zoun, he can now embrace it. He can embrace it very freely. Yo, shout to the tuna. God damn it. I'll try to make sure I remember to get rid of the logo after this game. As Clem does spot the 5th base. As we mentioned, the 5 base setup here on this map is very easy to secure. It's the 6th expansion, which is more difficult. But I'm sure Clem feels pressure to try and deny the expansion, getting his own 4th on location. Does flip it over. Ghost now on the way, +1 ship attack as well, ship weapons. We go. So we do head out. Goldfish memory. Tuna memory. Tuna memory. Let's go. Clem is going to be moving in. Likewise, down is in position. Shuts down the Vikings. Carriers are revealed. And Clem cannot move into this. He cannot move in. We'll back off. Bold move. Going for the Doom Drop. Does go for it, and he sees. He does spot it. And 1 medvac goes down. Nice pick up here by Zoun. He denies the drop. Clem has to pull back. Has to pull away. And as time goes on, we have 4 Colossus making 3 carries at a time. Zoun is getting out ahead. He's getting out of control. Clem, he has the 2nd starport. He can make 4 Vikings at a time, but Clem is maxed out. Getting into 2-2. Rotating over, trying to keep up. Trying to find a way in, but last Zoun does rotate as well. Zoun keeps up with the rotation. Forces Clem back. As that he wants those ghosts. It's tempting. Does want them. Oh, with the Lunar Mines. Only one, the other connects. Means they take a lot of damage. They're so fragile. Ooh. Observer goes down as well. As Zoun does overextend, he has to rebuild the Observer. Checking the vision here, we have... Oh, 1. Observer does meet up with the main army. And Clem, now he's stuck at home. He's throwing down a wall of turrets. That's 9 turrets on the way. He's getting a CC here in the pocket base. And making as many Vikings as he can. He's up to how many Vikings? 14. 14 Vikings. No Storm. This is where Storm becomes quite useful as a supportive spell. Does hit the ground and the air. Can help zone away those Vikings. More so than Colossus. Not there yet. Zoun moving in. He's up to 8 carriers, soon to be 10. Yeah, the first carrier is going to go down. He gets 2. Oh my god, he can 2-shot. Yeah, massive losses. Carriers are falling. At the same time, the Bio Army does crumble. He sims in. He can focus on the Colossus. And Clem, he does have enough. He does have enough to break through. Forces the recall. Oh my god, and he shuts out every single Colossus. Barely anything survives. 3 carriers. 3 carriers make it out. And again, the Colossus just did not do well enough. Not supporting. And Zoun is in trouble. Zoun is in a lot of trouble here. He's still making more Colossi. The problem with this is that Vikings, they just do everything right now. They can kill the Skytoss, they can kill the Colossus, they can kill the splash damage. Vikings, they cracked when everything's in the air. No. They were 2-shotting the carriers, but they were 1-shotting with the EMPs. So Clem takes a better fight. Zoun, he has to lick his wounds. And Zoun is in trouble here, just because it takes so long to build up into max out, and he had maxed out. It was an impressive army. But, yeah. Did have was lacking in some aspects. Interesting that he does go for a Mass Phoenix. He's got 13 Phoenixes now, which is designed to help buffer and help support the carriers. Now we have some Archons being morphed in. There's still no Storm. But I would say in this kind of game state here, it's where Disruptors and Storm are a little bit more valuable than Colossus. There we go. Second Robo's on the way. That is something we're missing. We'll see what Zoun does go for. Likewise, the Archons will help. True. He does crazy Phoenixes. Once again, Mass Viking moving in. He's got 22 Vikings. He can one-shot. Takes down a carrier. Bit of friendly fire with that mine. Yeah, that's a lot of Vikings. And we have +3 on the way for them. And right now, Zoun is just so heavily reliant on these Archons. They need to try to zone away. They have to zone. They have to protect these carriers. More turrets being thrown down. Going for the gold. Let's go. Clem setting up. Clem is setting up. Zoun safe plus into the mineral line. So far, good damage, getting 8 SCV kills. Not bad. 8 SCVs go down. Likewise, here we go. We have the Disruptors. That will help. So, it's going to be quite a complex army to work with. On the one hand, you need the Archons to zone away the Vikings. Archons, they're vulnerable to EMPs. Very vulnerable to EMPs, might I add. That's where the Disruptors come in. They have to zone away the Ghost army. The Ghost, the ground Terran here of Clem. So important for the Disruptors to zone them away. To help protect the Archons, which protect the carriers. Otherwise, those EMPs will be brutal. As you can see, Clem just slowly gaining ground, throwing down another wall of turrets. We're playing tower defense. Let's go. Like he's moving in. Ooh, again, they are one-shotting carriers. Archon's out of position. 2 more Phoenixes go down. There he goes up. Up! Oh my god. Catches 1 ghost. There we go. Gets a second ghost. Not bad. 2 ghosts go down. Yo, that Pachinko machine coming into play. Getting another 2 carriers. The carriers, they do nothing. Yo, we got Yamato on the way. Fusion core is done. Committing into Sky Terran. There it is. BC production has begun. And this is where carriers, they're not useful anymore. Tempest would be better. As Tempest, of course, they can outrange the army. They can kite back. And they can build up value over time. As we can see, though, Zoun, it looks like he's trying to go for a ground switch. We have Blink on the way. Blink, +2 armor. Shield upgrades. Zoun, he's not rebuilding those carriers. At this point, he can't. At this point, it is too late. And you could argue, do we have too much supply in Vikings? So as they go off, they turn away. Army moving in. Vikings to take down another Colossus. But again, as they're bleeding out Sky units, we're replacing them with Zealots, with more ground army instead. This is where the battle cruisers come into play. Like, BC is going to be ideal. How do you deal with BCs? I mean, Tempest ideally, right? Tempest to do bonus damage to massive units, and BCs do counters that. But right now there are 0 Tempest. Now Zoun, he doesn't know about the Fusion Core, he doesn't know about the BC production, but still Tempest would have been a kind of a better supportive unit here. These can't reset. Vikings, they pop up. Zoun does get 12 SCVs. Does get 12 workers, and the BC switch here might just be able to end the game. So just building on more battle cruisers. Yamato is done. Clem just kiting back, trading very efficiently. Tsar going down. Vikings, yeah, they're just going to throw themselves away. They get another carrier. They get one, they get two. There's one left. And now there's nothing left in the sky. Vikings, they did their job. Now it's time for landed Viking harass. Now, again, there's a lot of supply in Vikings. Now they don't really have much to do. Now it's time for the drop harass. Let's go. As Zoun does have the larger ground army, true. Clem is up to 5 BC, soon to be 6. 6 battle cruisers with upgrades as well. There it is, the Vikings, they land. They're waddling in. Let's go. I mean, hey, they got to do something. Vikings are going to be caught out. Miss movement there with that Archon. But Viking are going to be reset the Novas. Teasing connections. And here we go. The BCs are now revealed for the first time. Tempest production instantly starts. And the BCs, they will just wreak havoc. They shut everything down. Back at home making 6 Tempests at a time. But this is a late reaction, late response from Zoun. As you mentioned, Tempests are exactly what he needed. But he wasn't ready for it. Zoun needs time. Now, thankfully, we're on Neo Violet Square, and it's a very large map, so Zoun, he does have time to respond, going for a massive DT counterattack. Disruptor count was reset. DT's moving out. They go here. I mean, there's just so many turrets. There's so much stack detection. Could try to catch the main army, true. Could try to. Yo, going for the nuke. Nuke in the center expansion. Tempests have arrived. DTs, they go for the planetary and they will not get down. Oh my god. Just so much DPS output. Not bad. At the same time, oh no! We missed the nuke, my apologies. I was distracted. Mineral line went down to the nuke. Main armies do clash. Tempests are revealed. Shows those Novas. Up. Good connection. Nova does connect with the Yamadas. Oh my god. They catch out the Disruptor. Nuke did land. Again, 20 kills on this Ghost. I believe he got 17 probes and maybe 3 Dark Templar as well, because they did recall to the same Nexus. So Nuke did pop off. How many BCs are we at? 9. Soon to be 10 battle cruisers. Oh no. This time there's less to nuke, unfortunately, but it's going to be stacking nukes. Another mineral line goes down. I'm just pulling them apart. Zoun massing up his own army though. Now that both armies are maxing out, actually Zoun has a lot of potential here. How many Tempests does he have? 13. 13 Tempest. As long as they're able to preserve them, as long as they're able to kite, Zoun, he can achieve quite a lot here. Uh-oh, catching out the Bio army. Decent EMP here on the Archons. Another EMP lands. DT's from behind, oh my god! And here come the BCs, they hold on top of the army, they're going for the Tempest, and Zoun didn't notice! Oh my god, did not notice in time, Mass Yamato! And Tempests are falling one after the other. Stalkers are helping out, but the BC, they reign supreme. Oh my god. Do you go down to the Tempest though, over time? There's 3 BCs left. Stalkers are coming in. Can we reset the BC count? Up, 2 left! Down to 1. Can he get it? He can. The power of the Tempest. Oh my god. Zoun resets the army, goes for a massive DC counterattack, takes down another CC and a mineral line. Zoun is crippling the economy. Clem, he is in trouble. Does lose another base. Doesn't have the best mining going on right now. Does have CCs, thankfully, so we can mule. Going back into Mass Viking. Back into the Vikings. At this point, we should be done with the Sky Toss. Zoun likewise has to be fluid, switching to a ground-based army. And again, he doesn't need Tempest anymore. Not against all these Vikings. Remember, there's no more BCs. No more battle cruisers. The era of the Tempest has come and gone. But both players are so broke. Zoun, he lost bottom left. Zoun, he lost, I mean, a mineral line earlier. Who do we favor here in a head-on fight? I think I slightly favor Zoun just because there's so much supply now dedicated in Vikings, more so than anything else. And yeah, there are 3 Tempests, but like again, Zoun isn't really making any more Tempest. We'll see. We shall see. A lot of it most likely will come down to the Novas. I do like this though. Liberators are on the way. The freedom is coming. And this is something that Zoun doesn't have the best answer for. Going into Liberators. Ghost is found. I'm pushing through the center. Go, we get the gold. Vikings, they get one of the Tempests. There's 2 Tempests left. Nuke is going to connect. Jesus. Never grazes. Nuke pops off, takes down the site defense. A couple of probes. Does move forward. Yeah, the Ghost is on a mission, catching reinforcements. Zoun does notice. Oh, he doesn't get the Ghost. He does. Ghost goes down. Another DT counterattack. That is a planetary, and there's not many DTs. Deal with an orbital, but a planetary less so. That is 10 Dark Templar might be enough. It's gonna be close. He's going for it. Does blink in. How fast do we repair? It's 1 swipe, 2, 3. Yeah, he gets it. He does get it. Repairs not in time. Late reaction from Clem. Does recall the hell out of there. That's fine. We got another base. we got another CC. Clem, he will replace as an orbital, which is going to be that much more vulnerable. GT's moving out. Liberation has arrived. Yo, and Zoun, he cannot take this fight. Yeah, disruptors are falling. Does avoid the liberation zones. Comes in for a flank. Yo, and with this flank, can he get on top of the bio? It's getting so close here. Vikings forced to land. Stalkers forced back. Barely doesn't kill all the ghosts. And Clem, he does take the fight. Up! Nah, not quite. Doesn't quite connect. Never goes off. Clem advances on. He breaks through. Still has that base up and running. It's fine, but it's fine. He has an economy. That's what's important. Zoun just now getting bottom left up and running. Jesus, the mule hammer is insane. There's so many mules. Oh my god. And Clem with that boost to the oh, he just keeps going. Oh my god. The mule hammer is real. He's maxing out. They just ran away. Catching reinforcements. Better engage here for Zoun. Let's catch a couple of Marines, a couple of Marauders. Zoun is holding on. Feels like Silver Ladder? Yo, it's GM Ladder. What do you mean? What are you talking about? Decent Novas. These connections, they're just going to be going down once again. Catching out. Oh my god, massive connection. Catching out Clem. Clem gets caught. Getting caught out. Losing another CC. Not bad. Command Center does fall. So it does fall. Zoun, he's been trading quite well for himself. I mean, a head-on fight, Clem will win this. That's why Zoun is kiting his heart out. Cannot fight this head-on, but if he can land a Nova here or there, can then engage. But again, thanks to all those mules, Clem, he's close to maxing. It's at 180 supply. Almost there. Zoun, he does dive in, but he's going to lose everything here. Yeah, liberations are too good. The army sims in. No, but some of them connect, but GG gets caught as Clem, he overwhelms, and Clem will take a 2-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. I will get rid of the tuna. Hold on. I did remember. But GG, well played. Clem will take a 2-0 lead here in the series. Again, Zoun, he had a lot of good opportunities. Unfortunately, he was unaware of the BC transition. Otherwise, he would have begun Tempest production earlier. I do fault Zoun a little bit, though, for not setting it up ahead of time, just because as the game progresses, carriers lose value, as we were seeing, and Tempest gain value. So it was a bit of a late switch into Tempest production, which did give Clem a massive advantage. We still saw Zoun fight quite well in the center of the map, as he was able to reset the BC count, but he had just fallen too far behind. He had lost bases, he had lost mineral lines, his economy was really stifled, and he just could not maintain those losses. In the end, Zoun was overwhelmed. GG well played, but there were a lot of really good opportunities in that game, and it was very close, very intense, and a rare sight as well. As I mentioned, Neon Violet Square is often vetoed. It's very often vetoed, and we don't often get games on this map, so it was a treat, and it did deliver. Getting to late game, getting to the sky toss, beautiful. As this leads us into game number 3. Let's go. Zoun heard Clem showers and storms. Why would he help Clem? True. Not wrong. Not wrong. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Whispers of Gold, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss currently representing himself, currently teamless, and down in the series, we'll see if you can bounce back. It is Zoun. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Terran player, the blue Terran representing Team Liquid, leading the series 2-0. It is Clem. Storm not good against Mass Tower. Storm would have been ideal there when it comes to the kind of like ideal late game army. If we had some Tempest, then Storm would be better when it comes to zoning away those Vikings and protecting the Tempest and protecting the Sky Toss, something that we were referring to earlier. Again, it did feel like Zoun's late game army was very haphazard when he got there. I say late game army. When it comes to his maxed out army, it did feel a little bit haphazard. Didn't really feel like it had too much longevity to it. I mean, we saw it crumble, of course, as a result. But despite being able to max out, it did feel quite a little bit more kind of desperate there for Zoun, looking to take a fight and looking to end the game as quickly as he could. Did fall in the end, in the process. And with that, GG, well played. We're now leading into game number 3. And so far, Economic Opener once again, going for a Rax Expand. Clem going Reactor first as well, so again, no SCV Scout, no Reaper Scouts. Going Reactor first and settling in. Again, it's quite rare for Terrans to SCV Scout in TVP. Often you do rely on the Widowmine drop or the follow-up Hellions to get eyes on what's going on. So Clem does settle in. Back at home, standard opener out of Zoun. Going for a Gate Expand or Gate Cyber Expand. So standard opener from our Protoss, and we'll keep an eye on Zoun as he is not proxying, just scouting, just making sure that there is no proxy Stargate or Starport. Just keep an eye on Clem. Blink at 1730 while having carries. I don't see that these days. Usually we just don't get it, right? Like, as a reminder, it was a Stargate opener, so that's why there was no blink early on. Zoun was attempting a ground switch and a ground transition, if you recall, out of carrier once the Viking count got too high. Meanwhile, this is an interesting build. Okay, so Clem, he does open up Reacted Marine, and we expect more Marine production, but no, behind this, he's going to be switching into Reacted Reaper Hellion. A bit of a later Reaper Hellion kind of build up here from Clem, but designed to catch Zoun off guard. Oh boy, and he will reinforce. This is going to be, this is going to hit quite hard, actually, early on. Back at home, Zoun, he does have a shield battery on the way. Thankfully, gets a safety shield battery, has Sword Eps, has a Stalker. Doesn't quite confirm how committed this is going to be, but we'll see if he can hold on. Shield battery still needs more time. And Clem is going in. Does move in. Going for the Adept. The boys are being pulled, they have to be. Adepts are getting picked off. We get one volley off in the mineral line. Up! Oh my god, getting 2 probe kills. Not just 2. Getting 3, 4, 5, 6. This is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand. 6 workers go down. Again, a cheeky build by Clem. We're going for a delayed Reaper Hellion, and it's popping off. He gets 8 worker kills. That is insane this early on. And for what? For a handful of Marines, a couple of Reapers, a couple of Hellions. Nice trade here from Clem. Now, this could have ended the game. This could have killed even more, but thankfully he's down. He's holding on for now, getting into Blink. And back at home, Clem is getting ready for the counterattack. We have the bunker to make sure that the natural is safe. Tank in the main. And Clem continues his aggression. Moving out with another drop. But again, I'll be honest, I don't think I've seen that before. Like, Reacted Marine into the delayed Reaper Hellion. Clem, getting fancy. Let's go. Does drop into the main. This time with the Widowmine. Oh, trying to go for the mineral line here. Alas, so far, the Stalkers are keeping up. They take down the Widowmine. Stalkers getting low. Nice control. Does save them. Duckling has been solid. But workers are still being targeted down. He gets 3. He gets 4 more probes. And he will get away. Clem, he will escape. Pulling back. Getting a second bunker. That much more concerned about a 2-base all-in. He's like, yo, this damage is a little bit too good. Let me just make sure I'm okay. So, Clem just a little bit terrified. It's understandable. Like, when you get ahead, it's like, oh, like, is it a good thing? Is it a good thing that I'm ahead now? Did I just force an all-in? As Zoun is head towards the main, 2 tanks are in position. Clem, he's ready for this. Army Blink's in. Tank blow is going up. Can we deny Stim? We can. Ooh, yeah, tank's a little bit too far behind. Stim is denied. Massive pickup. This will contain Clem a little bit longer. We'll delay the move out. Let's go. We'll delay the push. Oh. Catching on the medevac. Once again, not bad. Very nice pickups here out of Zoun. Denying Stim, catching a medevac, not losing any Stalkers. Very nice trades. Zoun backing off, getting his 3rd. But still hoping to contain Clem. Oh! Dispatcher goes to the sun. Observer gets sniped. Now, Clem, he's secure. Like, Clem, he's in no danger here of really dying anytime soon. He's got bunkers, he's got tanks, he's very well fortified. But it isn't about that. It's about buying time and keeping Clem at home. While we expand, we have a Forge on the way, +1, charge. Robo as well for eventually Colossus production, I would imagine. Yeah, there's Colossus is on the way. He is breaking out. Does go for the mass salvage. As he moves out, Prism designed to move in. Clem for now just expanding, taking his 3rd. Zoun picking away at those Marines. Getting 2 Marine kills. A couple of pickoffs. He already has his first Colossus, getting into a second. We're just waiting for the moment that Clem does push. He does still have the advantage. Like, Clem is, I mean, you can see it here and now, right? Clem is up 40 supply. That is all because of the early economic damage. It was 12 probe kills. And again, early on, it doesn't look like a lot when he killed 8 workers and like another 5 in the main base. But it clearly does add up. It does snowball out of control. It's really hard to kind of see the outcome of that damage early on. But as the game progresses, then it becomes more clear. I mean, difficult kind of identifying the impact of economic damage early on, but it does add up over time. Is often why, as we get into the mid game, you can like see the supplies, see the disparity, and be like, how did this happen? Like, how's he so far ahead? Well, it's like, oh, if you recall, he killed 13 probes at the start of the game. It's like, oh yeah, like. Early game damage is brutal and difficult to recover from. Zoun still slowing down the push, building up. He's got his 2 Colossus, disruptive production has begun. And despite being down in supply with 1 Solid Nova, you can make up for that. It's possible. Likewise, trying to catch out those tanks. Gets 1. 1 tank goes down, nice pickup, he commits. Ooh, this time less certain of. So they try to come in from behind, but the tank shots are brutal. Clem takes the better trade. Chasing Zoun down. Rotating over towards that expansion. Zoun's trying to keep up. Yes, he has to give us base. The 4th base is going to fall. Zoun pulling away, trying to catch reinforcements. And looks like he will be able to. Catching a handful of Marines and Marauders. Not bad. But does lose the expansion. Zoun still stuck on 3 bases. Now getting a 4th. Can he catch the army unsieged? He can try. It blinks in, but still, the punish is real. Nova pops off. Nice connection. Nova shuts down some of the bio, but so many Stalkers went down in the process. Still a better trade for Clem. And Clem is about to max out. He's about to max out to reach that 200 supply. Zoun, he's still treading water. Struggling to keep up. He's holding on. We do have 4 disruptors, true. There's always potential. Always. Believe in the Nova, man. Believe in his balls. Rockstar knocked down. Zoun pushing towards that 3rd base. Does knock down the bunker. Clem slightly out of position. Does rotate. Clem wants that fight. Oh, never goes up. Oh, we get a decent connection, but nothing major. Disruptors are falling. Nice splits towards the end. And nice dodges. And I believe that was all the Novas. I believe they're on cooldown. And here comes Clem. Takes down the Colossus one after the other. Once again, arguably, too many Vikings. Takes down both. Colossus do fall. And the base as well. But there's just no saving the 4th. The Zoun just cannot expand. He cannot take a 4th. It's not happening. Better connection. Takes down a Ghost. Ghost does fall. Decent EMPs. Novas do Zoun away. Zoun, he does have comparable army size, but the soup does lie. This is mainly Zealot. It's a very Zealot-heavy army. It's a very cheap army here for Zoun, as opposed to the more efficient army of Clem. He's gonna try to catch out those tanks. Missile goes off. Tanks are encroaching with the base. Decent Nova. Oh! Second one doesn't quite connect. Once again, Clem, he zones away the army. He goes for the fourth base. Jeez, just getting the fourth base time and time and time again. That's the third time it's going to be falling. This time with workers, this time with probes. Clem from here would be ideal to get to Liberators. I would go for the base trade. It's the only way. It's the only way here. Never mind. He turns around. Oh. Once again, decent connections. Celtic collapse in. Clem not fighting with all his army. No. As with this, looks like we do get on top of the tanks. Tanks are pulling one after the other. This one he gets 2, he gets 3. And with his reinforcements, Clem, he gets caught off guard. And we gotta go. We gotta keep going. Zoun, send it. Send it across the map. Stuck on 3 bases, just now getting his fourth back up and running. Alas, he has no pushing power. There's just not enough left over here. The whips. Does with the Vikings. Zoun forced to engage. But we'll lose almost everything here. Using an action. Not bad. Once again, turning back Clem. Diving the army, Clem. A lot of his supply here are these Vikings. Oh my god. The Vikings not really helping too much. He's also tanking shots. Zoun still can barely not make it through. Barely not. Nice connection though. Chases down the Marauders, but the Gateway army still crumbles. Liberation has arrived. Tries to rush past. Zal's from behind, but Clem, he just rallies. He just rallies across the map. He has enough to break through. He's overwhelming Zoun. Takes down the Prism. Take down the Prism as well. Zoun did double expand. Actually has saturation. But again, he has no gas. He has no gas here at the third base, no gas at the fourth, no gas at the fifth. Like, it's all just zealots. It's all just mass zealot warpins. So let's move out across the map. Once again, catching reinforcements. Better trade here for Zoun. We'll lose the expansion though. And Clemmy races back. Turns back around. Zoun just cannot take a head-on fight. Oh god, the Novas on the mines even. Mines connect. Zoun going for the Hail Mary play. It's not gonna work out though. And Novas don't connect. Forced away due to friendly fire. GG gets called, and Clem, he overwhelms Clem. He will take a 3-0 lead in the best of 9. GG. Whew, a solid lead here for Clem. Again, it was just a really rough start. Zoun, if you recall, he lost 13 probes at the start of the game. That led into Zoun falling behind economically. That is why we saw early on Clem actually took a 40 supply lead, and with that he was able to deny the fourth base. 3 times, if you recall, 3 times he was able to kill the fourth base. There was a nice moment for Zoun afterwards where he was preserving his army. He had one big explosive fight in the center, which did go his way. Unfortunately, he was all in. Unfortunately, he had no sustain to try to take a longer game and to back off and to replenish his army. Like, no, he had to go then and there. Alas, with reinforcements, Clem, he was able to persevere. Did survive, did persevere. GG, well played. Clem does take a 3-0 lead, and now we are jumping into game number 4. As a reminder, this is the best of 9, so it is first of 5, not first of 4. So we still have more games ahead of us, but things are looking dire here for Zoun. Are looking dire. as we load into El Dorado. Again, I do think that Zoun had a lot of potential in Neon Violet Square, but it did also feel a little bit... I don't know, it also felt like he felt a little bit out of his element and very pressured on Neon Violet Square when we saw some rough fights. Likewise, here we are coming into game number 4, and we'll see if we can begin that comeback as spawning in the bottom right hand corner of El Dorado. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss, down in the series, but hey, we can fight back. I want to believe it is Zoun. The pressure is on. He still has a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of wiggle room, but you don't want to be down 4-0 in a best of 9. That's not that's not where you want to be. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, cruising in this series so far, looking very comfortable. We'll see if he can extend his lead. It is a Clem. Here we go. And so far in this series, I'll be honest, I don't feel like we've actually seen Zoun at his best. What I'm referring to, Game 1 and Game 3 were quite similar. If you were here at the start of the series, it was, in a sense, similar to Game number 3, where Clem dealt just critical early game damage. He was able to just cripple Zoun very early on. In Game 1, he did so much so that he just ended the game. It was just a very fast Game 1. In Game 3, the game continued, but Zoun was playing from behind. He was playing from behind from almost the beginning of the game, so he just hasn't been able to really get into his own build and get into his own game. As I mentioned, the reason why I brought up Neon Violet Square is that yes, he did max out, yes, he did rush into Skytoss, but at the same time, it also felt like a really uncomfortable army, going like mass carrier Colossus. It left much to be desired. By the time he maxed and pushed, he lost everything. Like, it was just still a really rough game state for Zoun. We'll see if that can change coming into El Dorado. Zoun, he needs some kind of momentum going his way, and he just hasn't really had any in any of these games so far. Not yet. Meanwhile, Clem going to be opening up single gas, so racks expand into a Reaper first, so we'll get some earlier scouting. We've been seeing recently Clem go for earlier Marine production, delaying his Reapers, at least in the past couple of games, but not this time. This time, I don't blame him, he's a little bit paranoid. He will scout the third location before moving out across the map, making sure that Zoun doesn't cheese and is being aggressive. Here we go. Zoun needs his pants down to show off his... No, that's the opposite. You don't want to be caught with your pants down. No. Not like this. Ooh, as we are opening up with a Stargate. Okay, now we did see a Stargate opener on Neon Violet Square, but that was a different map, and I would say it is safe to play Stargate on these larger maps, like Neon Violet Square, like Abyssal Reef. Here on El Dorado, risky, and the Reaper does confirm. Reaper gets shut down, but did get eyes on the Stargate. Back at home, Tech Labs on the way, most likely Cyclone open. Cyclone into Viking. Wait, what? He cancelled? Yeah, he canceled. Okay. Let him cook. Cyclone's on the way, as you mentioned, help deal with the anti-air. Second racks into a 2-1-1. But Zoun with the mind games. Cancels Stargate, goes into Blink. Now, okay, a couple of different things here. There's a lot to get into. If you remember in game number 2 on Neon Violet Square, if you remember game 2, we saw that Clem he actually didn't scout, but he blindly went 2-1-1 into a sim timing against Zoun, who had gone for a Stargate opener. But again, he was making the assumption that it was going to be Stargate play on Neon Violet Square, and we saw Clem try to get early game damage. Alas, he wasn't quite able to. Zoun did survive. It was an impressive initial defense, but here we see something very similar. Once again, a 2-1-1 stim timing. This is a rare sight in this matchup, but this is designed to try to shut down and punish Stargate play. We can see though, it's not a Stargate, it is a bait and switch. It's Blink instead. So I do favor Zoun against this build specifically. Do favor him. We have 3 gates on the way, it's going to be 4-gate Blink. Oh my god, hyper aggression here from Zoun. From Stargate, hard switch into 4-gate Blink Stalker. And because of this build, what does this mean? No tanks. 0 tanks for Clem, because this factory is only used for add-ons. The factory made the tech lab, factory makes the reactor, factory does nothing but make add-ons, which means 0 tanks. And once again, this should also be an add-on swap here for the racks as well. This is just how the build is designed. And it's not meant to play against Blink. And here we go. Zoun is pushing. So the Prism towards the main. He's got Stalkers here towards the natural. There's a bunker to defend. And that is going to be a little biased. Stim is not yet done. Zoun, his goal here is a hit before Stim. And we're going for it. We're sending it, Babby. We are sending it. Going to be reinforcing. You have how many Stalkers so far? 12. Bunker is left unattended. Bunker does fall. And Clem is getting caught with his pants down. He was in the middle of the drop. Oh my god, he's out of position. He's out of position. Natural's under fire. Oh, the full medevac. He gets one. He gets both. Oh my god. Takes down the medevacs. And Clem, the pants are down. Bobby dives on the cyclone. Boys are being pulled. Is trying to hold on. We do have another warp in though. Yeah, Stalkers, they fall back. Warping in 4 Stalkers at a time. And Clem, he is in trouble here. He barely has a standing army. Blinks in once again. Takes down both Marauders. Takes down the Marauders. Up. Does save the Stalkers. Nice control. Does kite back. And with that, more boys are being pulled. A desperation hold here from Clem. Again, he was mind game. The Stalkers are insanely low, though. Oh my god. Does have to pull back. Another Stalker goes down. But that's going to be 13 SCV kills behind this. Down, he does expand. It takes the 3rd base. Reinforces once again. He's going back in. Is going back in. The Observer does confirm. Still only 2 Marauders. Zoun, he can break this. He can and he will. Dives in once again. Takes down the medevac. Catches out the Marauders. Ooh. Barely not. Barely does. Marauders do go down. And there's just no army here. There's just no army. There's, what, 6 Marines. 6 Marines in a dream. Oh, he's trying to hold on. Down to 3. And GG gets called. Zoun, he will break through. He will fight back. He will put a point on the board. GG. Whew. Oh my god. GG, well played. Very nicely done here by Zoun. Again, this was a bait and switch. Zoun, he did open Stargate. Clem scouted, and instantly Zoun, he cancelled the Stargate, went for 4-gate Blink Stalker, and he baited Clem into a 2-1-1. Into a 2-1-1 build. That was a stim timing, a double medevac drop. He did strike just as Clem had moved out across the map as well. Clem, he was completely out of position. And with that, Zoun gets a fast one over on Clem. Whew. GG. GG, well played. Again, kind of using Clem's scouting information against him, kind of mind gaming his opponent. So a cheeky win there from Zoun. But that's one of those builds that's probably going to work only once. Like, in a full series, whether it's a best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7, best of 9, this is not something you can rely upon. Regardless, nice win here from Zoun, and we have begun the comeback. Let's go. As we are now jumping into our next game, loading into Game 5. Here we go. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Ultra Love, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, fighting back in this best of 9. And we'll see, as momentum is on his side, we'll see if he can pull it all the way back here and tie things up. We have Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid, the reigning world champion, leading the series 3-1, but did show a bit of weakness here so far in this series. We'll see if he can bring it back and regain control of the series. It is Clem. Here we go. Whew. And I'll be honest, I would not be surprised if at some point in this series, whether it's in this game, whether it's in another game, that if we do have a Stargate opener and if Clem does scout it, that he won't go for a hard switch into 2-1-1, right? I would imagine he's going to be a little bit more tempered in his reaction and his response. We'll see. As Zoun, he's paranoid, he scouts for a proxy. He does scout, he's looking to make sure there's no Raxes. It makes sense. Clem is one to proxy, especially proxy Marauder. We haven't seen proxy Marauder yet in this series, but he's quite fond of it, so I'm sure we'll see it at some point, potentially. But Zoun, he is just confirming that he's safe before he does expand. Ooh, and welcome one and all to Ultra Love. Ultra Love is one of the smaller maps in the map pool. I don't expect Stargate play here. It is very risky to go Stargate on these smaller maps. The map is defendable, that is true. There's a ramp coming into the natural. There's a destructible tower here at the third base to fully wall off. There are certain defensive features, but we'll see. We shall see. As Clem going for an economic opener. Rax expands. Rax expands. It does skip the SCV Scout, does skip the Reaper as well. Goes Marine first. Cutting corners, being efficient. He's like, you know what? You know what was the mistake last game? I scouted. He's like, you know what if I just don't scout? That'll probably be better. True. As Clem, he should be delaying his scout until he gets into his helium production with that factory. As the factory is on the way, we can see here Clem also scouting for a proxy. Make sure there's no gateway, there's no pylon. Before settling it. There's that Hellion on the way. Clem. Wait, okay. I thought we were going for a third TC for a moment. I don't know if you know, Clem, he had 400 minerals banked up, or just about. I was like, no shot is going 3 CC before starport. Hallucination comes in, 1-1-1. Okay, we're good. we're okay, we're okay. So 1-1 opener. Hellion moves out. Again, the Hellion is designed to scout. And we have a Twilight Council from the side of Zoun. I was like, man, is Clem pulling a Beyond? Nah, we're okay, we're okay. I got ahead of myself. Hellion does a push. Elastic Army's in position. And we'll zone the Hellion away. So far, Clem is in the dark. I mean, it could be a Stargate, could be a Rover, could be a Twilight Council. Clem has no confirmation. Hallucination dips in. And will force friendly fire. Not bad. The SCVs are real low. And that could... Okay, he's repairing. Is going to repair. I mean, hey, that's damage, right? That's one SCV not mining. And of course, spent resources to repair. Likewise, we have 2 more gates on the way. It's going to be a 3-gate blink opener. 3-gate blink into a third. Very safe build here from Zoun. Much safer this time. And Clem is getting to his own 3-1-1 into Marine drop. Does move out. Does head towards that natural. So far, Zoun's ready in the main. Blink is not yet done. But Zoun does spot the drop. Is aware. Does spot it. Clem racing back home. Behind this, getting to his own stim timing. Once again, Clem, he actually goes for no tanks. Didn't really set up his tech lab. Didn't set up his factory. Which means Zoun has potential with his counterattack. As it's purely bio here from Clem. He's setting it for a stim timing. Unfortunately, as opposed to last game, this is only 3-gate blink, so there's no way to reinforce. There's no War Prism, for example. Zoun is trying to contain, but Clem, he will slip away. Zoun is patrolling for any kind of drop play. Will miss the medevac. Zoun is getting his own third. I believe that was a Templar Archives before third expansion. Interesting. So Zoun, he's rushing into early storm. Before third. Archives done. Yep. Rushing into storm. Let's go. Bold move. We're going for storm time. We're going for storm timing. Prism is out. High Templar already gathering energy. And the goal here is to move out just as storm finishes. So a very committed build here from Zoun. Does hold up the High Templar already. Now, I'm curious if he's going to commit into a push or if he's going for like a storm drop into the mineral line. Like, he has options. Until then, Pylon spots the drop. Now, he does want to hide the High Templar. He doesn't want to reveal his hand yet. Again, this is a very specific build and is not standard. So he doesn't want to reveal his hand. So far, picks away the Marines. Oh! Is in position, shuts down the medevac. Very nice. Full medevac goes down, double jump on the left hand side. Zoun is not in position. Yeah, the middle line is exposed. Storm gonna have to be used defensively. Yeah, Storm is spent. And that was both Storms. Both Storms now spent. Has to morph in the Archon. And this is a better trade for Clem. Sure, he took some Storms to the face and he didn't get the damage he was hoping for, but he did force the spells out of Zoun, and now he has to build up once again. So Clem is safe. Clem is going to be safe. Getting to his third CC. Zoun is trying to keep up. Stalker's punished. Clem going for a split push. Trying to keep Zoun's attention on the left-hand side. Just trying to keep it. Clem moving in. Oh, there's that one Storm. Does graze the army. Oh, good. So far as Zoun, he's holding on. He's keeping up. Does defend. It gets his third base fully saturated. Now working towards a fourth. Likewise, Clem is also getting his own third base into Ghost production as the Ghost Academy is halfway done. So we're working towards that mid-game. We are getting into this. Clem is still being active though. He's still looking for the fourth expansion and hoping to deny it. I mean, this is a pretty heavy Marauder army. He can focus on a base. Likewise, Zoun terrified of a Doom Drop. Not this time. Let me pulls back. Ghosts are now on the way. Getting to Liberator production as well. Now as Clem gets into Ghosts and Liberators, would you see Zoun taking up towards further splash damage? He has Storm, that is true, but Storm on its own is less than ideal. Now building up towards Colossus. And because of the Storm opener, Clem, he has no Vikings. Not yet. He has no reason to make Vikings. So, well, my apologies. He has 3? Yeah, he has 3 safety Vikings. Never mind. He's okay. Does have some safety Vikings ready. Likewise, Clem going for a split push once again. Ooh, does take a Storm to the face. So far as Zoun, he is split. He's ready. He's ready for this. Buying time. As Zelda does get across the map. 5 SCV kills, not bad. Getting 5 SCVs. Trying to stim one in. Does take another Storm though. Zoun is holding. Zoun is holding on. Just 3 battles happening at once. There's that first Colossus on the way. We're still on 3 Vikings. And this also emphasizes how defensive Ultra Love is. We spoke earlier about the ramp coming into the natural. We spoke earlier about this choke point here with the destructible tower. And Clem just hasn't found a way in. Likewise, choke point here on the left hand side as well. Zoun is defending well. Then he rotates. Over towards the left hand side. Zoun, he does miss the rotation. Shows those EMPs. Storm zones. Does zone away. Zoun coming in from behind. Trying to catch out the army. So far, still no major connections. Colossus has revealed itself. And the Prism will be zoned away. Has to back up. Oh! Yeah, the Storms that have been lackluster here. They haven't quite connected. Hightemler gets sniped. Better trades here for Clem. Both armies are maxed out. Would you need that Storm? Oh my god, Prism goes down. Barely grazes the army. Better fight here for Clem. Dusts him in, takes down the High Templar, takes down the Zealots. EMPs a Colossus. But Zealots are coming from behind. And Clem gets caught out. They're barely caught out. Forced to unload, bleeding out more ghosts. Reinforcements on the way. And who's going to surround who? Clem is snimming in from behind. He wants a Colossus. He's going to get it as well. Massive pickoff. Colossus does fall. But there's another. It's another Colossus. Catches the Viking. And in the end, Zoun takes the better fight. He caught out just so many ghosts there in the corner of the map. Got his fourth base up and running. Zoun has a supply lead. And Clem, he just lost too much here. He has to rebuild. Clem, he's down to 1 Viking, 3 ghosts, barely an army. And Clem's in trouble. He is in trouble here. Oof. Mines, they connect. They catch 2 Stalkers. Storm's coming in. Nice EMP, very nice EMP. Catches a little High Templar. Clem is buying time. If it wasn't for those EMPs, Zoun could have pushed in. But now throwing down gateways, second robo, 5th expansion. And Zoun cannot break Clem, not anymore. Healing off some zealots. Oh, catching out a Wintermine. Zealots ready for a counterattack. And the planetary has gone up and running. Zoun hasn't touched it. Planetary gets up. Disruptor production has begun. Getting into those disruptors. Zoun pulling away. Oh. Let's pull away. Nice storm. Zealot's bust into the mineral line. Clem, he was distracted. And Zoun, he will rotate. That's going to be 11 dead SCVs. Zealots are finally cleaned up. And freeing up supply. Ghost getting caught out. Ghost is going to fall. Storm turns away. Zoun, he's trading well. Doesn't get the expansion, but still trades well, sniping SCVs. Taking down ghosts. And more importantly, just keeping Clem pinned. Again, Clem, he's stuck defending. He's stuck at home. He wants to move out, but he cannot. He cannot move out. He's pinned back. Massive storm connects. Getting another ghost. And Clem is finally breaking out. Diving the army. There are no storms remaining. But disruptors have arrived. It shows us Nevers. Oh. Just buying time, just rotating. Suddenly, Clem has gained map control. He's stimming in. Oh my god. Brutal connection. As Clem is pretty heavily overstimmed, and the medics are running out of energy. He's been stimming so much. Too much. Oh my god, the storms are brutal. Oh my god, he stands in the... It's Clem. True. He stands in the storms. I forgot. Yeah, Zoun is breaking through the defensive line. Still no storms remaining though. Arguably has overextended. Still moving in. Still gaining ground. Zoun is up in that army supply. He's got 3 disruptors, so he's got 4 disruptors ready. There's the first Nova. Does connect. He's got 3 more. Down to 2. 2 Novas left. Pulls away. There's that 3rd Nova. And just buying time. Behind this, going for his own Dark Shrine, getting to 3/3 upgrades. Still very tense between these 2 players. Oh. Very tense. We attempt the flank. Oh, Novas are connecting. But Clem has the better concave, has the better arc. Takes down the Colossus, forces down the hell out of here, has to pull away. Oh my god. Almost connects. But barely not. And with that, Clem, can he take down those disruptors? Finally! Not quite. The Novas, they just keep popping up. They keep coming. Ooh, denies the massive warp in. That was what, 6 High Templar? Jesus. Yeah, warping gets denied. Going for the expansion. The 5th base is exposed. And it should fall. Zoun coming in from behind, trying to surround the army. Look now, position. Ooh, Brutal Storm comes in. Oh my god, the storm! Once again, the storms, they pop up, they catch Clem out, and Zoun, he will fight back once again. GG, those were brutal storms, completely catching Clem. And he was trapped, he was surrounded. GG. Zoun, the comeback! It's begun. It has begun, winning 2 games in a row here. Whew, oh my god, again, just a really tense game state. Once Zoun gained map control, he was just mass expanding, he was just keeping Clem pinned, and we're just hoping for those big connections, whether it was with storms, whether it was with disruptors, but he was out-trading Clem, and in the end, Clem, he got surrounded. The game didn't necessarily have to end then and there. He wasn't all in, but he lost everything. He got cornered, got surrounded. GG. GG, well played. Whew. With that, Zoun does take another game. We are still not tied up. We're not quite there yet. Clem still has a lead. But, can he extend it? Can he keep this going? As up next, we're loading into Ley Lines. Let's go. Let us go. As spawning in the top right-hand corner. Top right-hand corner of Ley Lines, we have our South Green Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Fighting back, winning 2 games in a row. Can he tie up the series? It is Zoun. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid. Still with a lead, don't get me wrong, still up 3-2. Can he fight back? Can he gain momentum once again? It is Clem. We go. As we load into Ley Lines, Ley Lines is going to be a less defendable map. We tried to mention at the start of the game, but we weren't quite able to, I feel like, emphasize it too much. But at Ultra Love, it's just very difficult to push into your 2, 3, and 4 base setup just because of the terrain of the map itself. Here, Ley Lines is a little bit more open. It is similar in the sense that we have a ramp coming into the 3rd base, we have ramps coming into the 4th, that is true, but the bases are a little bit more spread out. There are more open locations, more avenues of attack. It isn't as fortifiable as Ultra Love. So aggression can be that much more effective here. Can be more effective. We'll see if we can get there. But now we are opening up. Clem once again going for a single gas, going for a more economic opener, going for the faster CC. Zoun does confirm. He scouts, he confirms the gases. We'll pull out. And we'll attempt to delay the CC. Us is already taking a lot of damage. There we go, CC has been thrown down. Clem does settle into his opener. From here, our eyes are going to be on Zoun to see whether or not he goes for another Twilight Council opener, a Stargate, or a Robo. See how he does approach this. Again, after the attempted Stargate play we've seen earlier this series, we're imagining Twilight Council. But we'll keep an eye on Zoun. Likewise, Clem is scouting for proxies. Making sure there's no shenanigans. Checks the 3rd. Checks the center expansion. And is once again going to be relying on that Hellion to confirm, as there is no SCV Scout or Reaper Scout. So waiting for that Hellion. Meanwhile, once again, Twilight Council opener out of Zoun. Going for Blink. Now, we did see 4-gate Blink Stalker previously in this series, but again, that was to blindside Clem. That was more of a just trying to punish the scouting of his opponent. Here, I imagine like 2-gate Blink into a 3rd base or 3-gate Blink. Not really picturing anything too much more aggressive than that. We'll see. We shall see. As Blink is on the way. K-Ways are going to be thrown down. And Clem is settling into his 1-1-1. Building up towards a Mind Drop. which we actually haven't really seen yet in this series. We've seen drop play, don't get me wrong, but very marine heavy. Speaking of, the bio army does move out, just trying to catch any kind of stray units, adepts, probes. Zoun setting up his spotter pylons, and that is going to be the third gate. So 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink out of Zoun. Very safe way to play. Clem once again going for his second racks. Here comes that mine drop. It's going to be a little bit more committed this time with 3 winter mines, not just 2. And the bio army. So Clem is moving out. He's got all his marines. His winter mines as well. We'll see if Zoun can keep up. Does have a shield battery. That will help. Stalkers, they're ready for a drop in the main. But everything's coming at the natural. And here we go. He does boost in. He's going for the stalkers, going for the mineral line. Does unload. Boys pull away. And Marines, they don't quite commit. Which is a distraction. Gets the hell out of there. Oh! Mine shot goes off. Not quite. Zoun does pull away. And Clem, just being as efficient as possible, does save one of the widow mines. Oh. God, the retargeting. Being so annoying here. Zoun will clean up. And he holds. Zoun, he holds. There's always, of course, that final widow mine ready to dive into the main. So Zoun, he has to keep supply ready for this. Likewise, Clem this time going for a much more standard setup, this time getting into tank production. As a reminder, he did not make any tanks last game. Last game he went into faster stim instead. This time, bio tank, a much more standard follow-up. Very safe way to play. And Zoun, he's going to be delaying his splash damage and going for a faster charge into the forge. Last game, Zoun, he attempted to go into a storm rush. He just rushed into storm and was quite effective defensively. He wanted to be aggressive with it, but wasn't able to. This time, charge and +1 into delayed splash damage. So much more of a gateway-centric style. Been very trendy as of late. Oh, nice catch from Zoun. Containing Clem, catching out the Raven. Keeping him contained. Clem going for his third CC. Not going for a 2-base all-in. And Zoun, he can't really touch these upgrades. Cannot touch the tech labs. As it's a tank line, there's plenty of marauders. Clem, he is ready for a blink. From here we can take a breath. Now that the third base is getting saturated, Zoun is working towards the bay into Colossus. Getting into that mid-game. He's getting there. Oh. Likewise, slowing down the push. Clem just establishing his third base. But does he opt to commit? Let's catch a Stalker, not bad. Trades the Stalker for a Marauder. They do go back and forth. Zoun warping in back at home, getting ready for a push. But again, Clem, he's just chilling. Just focusing on map control, he's staying on his half of the map. Getting his third base. Calming down. Likewise, Zoun is getting his fourth. So far, pretty passive early to mid-game. No major aggression outside of the early drop, of course. But outside of that, we are just building up. Carrying up to towards the eventual move out. As Clem, he has stim, he has combat shields, he has +1. Here comes the push towards that northern base. It is spotted by the zealots. Zoun, he is aware. Zoun, he does poke in. Catches out a Marine. Doesn't quite stop the tanks though. Not there in time. And Clem is going for the 4th base. Can he not get down? A massive missile goes up. There's a cancel. Denies the 4th, and that's all that Clem wanted. Doesn't have to keep going. Just denies the 4th base, backs up. And Clem's win condition is to make sure that Zoun never expands. Let's make sure that Zoun, he has a hard time taking his 4th. We can see Zoun expanding towards the south. Clem is rotating. And how long is it going to take before Zoun can expand? Zoun, he does spot the army. Oh, the observer gets caught. Clem keeping up with the stalkers. Likewise, Zoun, he still needs more time. He's double expanding. This makes the most sense. Again, Zoun, he's anticipating that he will be forced to cancel one of these. He'll be forced to cancel. He's trying to double expand. Likewise, building up more disruptors, more colossus, has a 2nd robo. Second robo is up. And so far, Clem being a little bit more passive. He's respecting these stalkers quite a bit. Hasn't moved out yet towards these bases. And now he's pushing. As he expands, or I should say as he moves out, he'll be expanding behind it. Clem is maxed. It's going to be up to Zoun to slow down this army. We'll see if he can. He has his disruptors. True. He's moving in. Needs that a Viking. There it goes off. Oh no! Oh, that was potential. Zoun. He second-guessed himself. Zoun, calm down. Calm down, Bobby. Calm down. He flinched. Does get a tank. No, barely not. Tank to survive. Clem pulls away. I mean, after that Nova that almost connected, he's like, okay. Let's both calm down a little bit. Let's back off. Zoun moving in. Clem a little bit out of position here. As those tanks are exposed. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks go down. Massive pickups. No more tanks. Zoun moving in. Here come the disruptors. We get a decent connection. Another goes off. Turns away. Not bad. Zoun, he has to retreat. He only had the 3 disruptors. Colossus are exposed. They're going down one after the other. And brutal losses for the Colossus. The Zelta, they're popping up. They get on top of the ghosts. That was how many? That was just the 1 ghost going down. Ghost does fall. Zoun, he's remaxed, building on more disruptors. Raven harass continues. Meanwhile, Clem doesn't quite come in from behind. But liberation has arrived. We have freedom. The freedom is here. It was here. Delta 2. Delta 3. Nova's Ace ran away. Liberator count is reset completely. Very nice catch here from Zoun. Does focus on every single Liberator. Now just the Bible Army. Another massive connection. The Novas are a little bit too good. Zoun, he can handle his bullets, man. He's crazy. He's got 3. It's fine. It's normal. Don't worry about it. He's moving in once again. Catching on a Marauder. Not the best connections here towards the end. But he's getting into the mineral line. Zealots, they bust into that mineral line. SCVs aren't going down. More Zealots have arrived. And Clem is being overwhelmed. He lands the Vikings. Vikings, what are they going to do here? Against the Gateway Army. They fall. GG gets called. And Zoun, he will tie up the series 3-3. Happy. We have a series. Let's go. GG. GG, well played. Whew, we are tied up, mate. After a 3-0 lead from Clem, Zoun, he just needed to calm down, just needed to warm up. He's good, Pat. We're good. We're solid. We're bouncing back. We are tied up 3-3, and we still have plenty more games ahead of us here. Again, this is a best of 9. First to 5 will come out victorious. And now we're tied up. Let's go. Let us go. Whew. And again, just some beautiful Novas there from Zoun. Really good rotations as well. I mean, one of the big moments, if you remember, was Clem. He had left his tanks unawares. He left them exposed. They went down real fast and real quick. We saw something similar with the rotation towards the top side, catching out those Liberators, and more importantly, the Novas. The Disruptors, they were connecting very well. They were trading well. And that leads us into our next game. Leads us into Game 7, loading into Frostline. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Frostline, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss, tying up the series 3-3. Oh my god, momentum is very much so on his side. Can he keep this up? Can he keep going? It is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Red Terran player, the Red Terran representing Team Liquid from land of France. It is Clem. He gave him too much room with those early Stalkers, let them double expand. Yes, for those that did miss the early game, Clem, he did a really great job at denying the 4th. And if you remember, we were expecting Clem to deny the 4th base, to back off and rotate and deny the 4th again, but he didn't. He denied the 4th base and he went back home, and he stayed back home. And as Jay is mentioning, he did double expand afterwards. After losing the initial 4th base, Zoun got away with double expanding. Clem, he was instead more concerned about preserving his 4th base and was staying back at home, being more passive in the aftermath. Was more passive, despite his army advantage. As again, that's when Clem he had the larger army. He was the first to max out. From here, though, we're getting to our next game. Are going to be settling in. And welcome on Ultra Frostline for the first time in a long time. Double gas opener out of Clem, going for a faster factory. Let's go. Is going for the faster factory. And with that is going to be more assertive here. With this, we can go into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We can go for early Cyclone, early tank drop as well. We have seen quite a rise in prominence of tank drops or early tank pushes on Frostline. Again, Frostline's natural is much more wide open. It's much more difficult to defend. We'll see if Clem is going to open up aggressively here, or is going to commit to even more aggression. Here we go. As we get that CC on the high ground, Stargate opener out of Zoun. If Clem does go for an early move out, I mean, this can actually overwhelm. Zoun, his Stargate play has been very hit and miss so far this series. Reaper is going to be zoned away. Tech Lab is in production. Question becomes, do we go for the Cyclone? Do we go for an early Banshee? How does Clem bring about this build? Gets into the main. Checking Clem's vision. He does not see the tech. Does not confirm whether it's Twilight Council or Stargate. He doesn't know. He is still in the dark. It's going to be Cyclone first. It's going to be the Cyclone into Medevac, into tank. This looks like a tank drop. Uh-oh. And this can punish a Stargate opener. As this early on, the Phoenix count is going to be very low. It's not going to be an easy hold, assuming we're going for the tank afterwards. Cyclone has arrived. Here comes that Medevac. Yep, tank drop. Oh boy. Again, as we mentioned, this is very popular. This is very popular specifically on Frostline. Part of it is because of how openly natural is and how exposed it is. And this is going to hit like a truck. Zoun supplyable for a moment. He's got 2 Phoenixes so far. On the one hand, you might be thinking, oh, he can like lift the tank, he can CC it, he can deny it. Well, that's what all the Vikings, the Cyclones, and the Marines are for, to protect that tank and to keep this push going. As we are waiting for that tank, and then we boost across the map. Let's go. Clem, he's sending it. Does send it across. Shield battery is done. Phoenixes, they're moving out, they're going to be out of position. And Zoun, he did not see this coming. Zoun, he didn't see anything. Yeah, last Zoun. The pants are down, Bappy. Does push forward. Tank will siege. And it's going to be zoned away. That's our returns to pylon. No, do we commit to the shade? Do we force some slash damage? Phoenixes are racing back home. Can we lift? Oh my god. Do last second split. Nicely done. Tank is lifted. Vikings are coming to support. And the Adepts are cleaning up the Marines. Marines are falling down. He's holding on. Up on second lift. Yeah, he holds. He shuts down the push. Takes down the Cyclone, the Marines, the tank as well. Is going to go down a couple of workers. Jesus. As he should be looking this up. I say that reinforcing Cyclone has arrived. Tank is still up and running. Finally going to go down. Whew. And Zoun holds. Zoun, he does hold. At a cost. But, we've seen many a Protoss player die to this. We've seen many a Protoss player die. Zoun does survive. And he gets away with a third. Third base was on the way. So far, so good. Did cost him 6 probes. But from here, the game will continue. Building up towards the bay, towards Colossus. Immortal first. Okay, we can breathe, Pappy. We can breathe. Oh my god. Again, the Phoenixes, they arrived just in time. It was a clutch hold, Pappy. Clutch hold. And now we're building up the Colossus, the Immortals. That was very committed by Clem. Bear that in mind. And you can see he's not done. He's moving out with a second wave, a second push, another tank drop. Let's go. If at first you're going to succeed, try and try again. This time with 3 Vikings, 2 Cyclones, the 1 tank. And I'm getting deja vu because once again the Phoenixes are out of position. The Phoenixes are across the map. They're going to get some SCV kills. Back at home, do we have enough to defend? There is an Immortal, true. That Immortal is going to be so crucial in the defense. Phoenixes, they recall back home. They do recall. Army gets spotted. Clem, he rotates. Does rotate over, going for the third. Zoun trying to keep up. Is being zoned away. He does lift. Does lift the tank. Yeah, and he will shut this down. The Immortal moves in, and the tank will fall. Once again, Zoun, he's shutting down Clem. Twice now. Twice does shut him down, and again, this was committed. We lose another tank. And pulling back, he has a third tank here to reinforce. Tank does siege. Fully goes up. He's going for the lift. Goes to the Cyclone. Tank will fall. And these are too many losses. Too many losses here for Clem. He's racing back home. He's in trouble here. He's down to a handful of vanilla Marines. No bunker, no tank, no nothing. He lost everything. The Vikings have to land. And Clem, can he survive? Can he hold on? The boys are being pulled to repair. Second Immortal comes in. Make the Immortals, they can just focus down those Vikings. Oh, likewise, Immortal has to calm down. Has to pull away. Immortal does kite back. Very intense fight with the bare minimum. Clem, he survives. Whew. He's surviving. He's holding on. And Zoun from here is building up a greater force into Colossus, Forges, upgrades. Third base is fully saturated. Remember, Clem, he has been so committed so far, and it just hasn't been worth it. And the pressure's on Clem to bounce back. And it is possible. He's going for Liberate Harass. He can go for drop play. Medevacs are amassing as well. So Clem has potential. But the pressure is on. Pressure is on Clem. Moving out towards that main. Phoenixes are already in position. They rally to the main base. Likewise, main army building up. Clem is pushing towards that third and taking his own. his own third base. Last pushing into 2 Colossus. Not going to be easy. Phoenixes, they are otherwise distracted by the main army. There is an opening for this Liberator. True. So while Zoun is distracted, Liberator can move in. Speaking of. Liberator poised and, yeah, rallied into that main. Likewise, Colossus out of position. Clem pushing in between the bases. Liberator will siege. Clem sims forward. Going for the production, going for the Robo. Robo, it is going to go down. Massive pickup. Oh my god, barely does. Please have someone inspire. Mind shot goes off. Nice last second split here at a Zoun. And Liberator does deny mining time, but does fall to the Stalkers. And he has triggered a counterattack. What do we have at home to defend? We have some Marines, some Marauders. We have a Bio Army. Can Clem pull this off? Oh. Nice force field. Likewise, hot pickup saves the fire. Still a massive chunk of Marauders. Zoun has to be careful. Has to respect it. Taking away those Widow Mines. He gets 1, he gets 2. Both Widow Mines go down. He's just chasing down the main army. Last Clem, he cannot fight this head on. He has to pull the boys. He comes in with a surround. The boys are being pulled. Colossus, they kite back. And they get extra swipes off as well. Marauders from behind. Colossus are being targeted and barely we're holding on, but at a cost of 14 SCVs. Ooh, does reset the Colossus count. Does survive. Oh my god. Very clutch hold there from Clem. Very clutch. Honestly, if it wasn't for the boy pool, he may have just died then and there. He may have just been broken. Clem will take the fight. The Robo hasn't been rebuilt. Uh-oh. Zoun's in trouble. Zoun, he never rebuilt that Robo. And that means 0 Colossus, 0 splash damage. Zoun, he has a bag. He can't spend his money. This is it. He has Zealots and Phoenixes. Oh, no. The Robo is still on the way. At this point, I want to see a second Robo. Zoun is in trouble. Clem is moving out. And Zoun has nothing. He has nothing to defend. Oh, God. Oh no. Not like this. Alrabe comes in. There's a bunker to defend. And Clemmy will hold. He will hold back at home. Moves out across the map. There's still Zealots. There's the first Immortal. He has a couple of Archons. Zoun, can he pull this off? Catch the Widow Mine. Nice kiting here from Clem. Clemmy kites back, shuts down the Zealots. Only Archons remain, and yeah, Zoun is being overwhelmed. Ay, ay, ay. Again, that move that had potential. I mean, in this game, Zoun, he was holding his own. But that Robo was so delayed after losing it. Does force a pickup. He's holding on. Barely. Did cost him an Archon. Zoun pulls away. First Colossus in production. He needs time. And Clem is not giving it to him. It's not giving him that time. Clem just rallying across the map. At this point, back we can stim. We can win. Ah. This first Colossus still in production. Likewise, Clem rotating. Does rotate over. Sorry for that zoom. I'm getting nervous. Colossus does make it out, but it's exposed. It doesn't matter. Colossus is going to be targeted. Is going to go down almost instantly. Oh god, barely gets away. Whew. Gets to the shield battery. But again, Zoun is still an uphill battle. Still very much an uphill battle for Zoun. Trying to move in. It's also being cleaned up. Brutally MP. And Zoun has nothing left. He gets overwhelmed. Again, that fight earlier was brutal, and GG gets cold. Clem, he bounces back. He recovers. He takes game number 7. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Very back and forth, very intense. Again, unfortunately, after that initial move out, I mean, I want to say that Zoun, he was in a better position. He was playing very well here this game, defending and surviving against both tank move outs. So very strong defense there from Zoun. And with that, even that counterattack did so much damage. But unfortunately, if you recall, before that counterattack, before that Colossus push, Clem had sniped the robo. He had sniped that robo, and it looks like it took too long to actually recognize that and to rebuild the robo. Because of that, there was a massive period in time where there was 0 robo production, and after losing all those Colossus, never did rebuild. He built 1 Colossus towards the end, but it was too little too late. Clem, he had gained too much momentum and did snowball out of control from there. GG. GG, well played. Clem does take a lead. And now Clem is 1 game away from claiming the series. Otherwise, Zoun is 1 game away from forcing the ace match. Let's go. That almost had it, Sag. He played well, he played well. Did play very well. Oh, here we go. Don't know if he's using Enki recharge yet. Yeah, he has. Does use Enki overcharge. But here we go, we're getting to our next game. Especially in the games where we had High Templar and Storm. He was using it. But here we go, we're getting to our next game, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. Down in the series, he has to fight back here and now to force the ace match, to force game 9 in this best of 9. We're so close, it is Zoun. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Terran player from land of France, representing Team Liquid, 1 game away from claiming the series as he has begun his return and his comeback. It is Clem. But that was an intense game. Again, I'm so impressed that Zoun, he was able to survive and defend against the early tank aggression, the tank pushes of Clem. Like, Clem was so committed early on. But despite that, Clem, he bounced back, he found an opportunity, he was able to outposition Zoun. If you recall, that moment even before that Colossus attack, but when Clem had wedged himself in between the bases, when he distracted with the Liberator in the main base, when he had sniped that robo, you could argue that was the game-winning move. That was the game-winning move for Clem. Sniping that robo, disrupting the production, and never allowing Zoun to rebuild. I'm sure he didn't know that it would take that long to kind of recognize and to rebuild those robos. Yeah, it was crazy. GG well played. Meanwhile, double gas. 2 games in a row. Double gas opener. Now, last game, this double gas opener led into an early 1-1-1, into early cyclone, into early tank push, into a tank drop. It was very committed, very aggressive. I don't see Clem doing that same build 2 games in a row. I can see the rationale for it. The rush distance by air is actually quite short on this map. The rush distance by ground is long, but only because of all these rocks. Like, these rocks, they do extend and they do make this map larger than it really is. But when it comes to drop play, we can just boost through the center. We can just boost right through the center and commit. There's a reason why we've seen an uptick in German taxis in ZVP. There's been a lot of drop lord based all-ins on Amygdala. So we'll see how Clem plays this out, as never mind, he's going Reactor Reaper Hellion. Okay, Reactor Reaper Hellion is being aggressive, but even earlier on than last game. Likewise, Zoun opens up with the Sentry, goes for his hallucination, and will confirm the Reactor Reaper and the Hellion. Does see everything. Does confirm the gases, does confirm the CC. Is aware of what's coming his way, and it's going to be up to Zoun to survive and to defend, because we are not stopping Reaper or Hellion production. We commit. So Clem is committed. Clown. It's Clem and Zoun put together. Oh no. I just woke up. Clem does move out. Heads towards that main. So far, Zoun is keeping up. Reapers ahead towards that main base, but SimCity is solid. Clem doesn't get in. Doesn't get into the main base. So far is denied. We're still not stopping Reaper production, by the way. We're going for an extra wave. Getting up to how many? Getting up to 6 Reapers and 3 Hellions. That's a big commitment here from Clem. And we actually saw this in game 1, if you remember. It was game 1 on Abyssal Reef, where this push actually ended the game. If you missed it, game 1 was a very short game. It was very short. And with this, Clem, he was able to bust into the natural. He was able to reset the army and cripple the economy. And here we go. He's moving in once again. Does hit the natural. Zoun does have a force field, and he does lock down the wall. Whew. Shuts down the Hellions, zones away the Reapers, but the Reapers, they can actually go back into the main. Go through that Reaper cliff. Hellion gets in. Stalkers are keeping up. And so far as Zoun, he does defend. He shuts down the Hellions, doesn't lose any workers, does force field, catching another. Oh, barely not catching another Reaper. Clem survives with 3, but Zoun holds. Zoun does hold. Zoun doesn't lose any probes. Doesn't lose any workers. A much cleaner defense this time by Zoun compared to game 1. Much cleaner. I mean, a big part of that was the hallucination scout, so we knew what was coming ahead of time. As Clem, he backs off and he does transition into his own bio tank production. Whew, okay, so after an intense start, we're calming things down, we're building up. As we do have a gateway explosion, more than I assumed. Oh my god, Zoun is going for a gate blink. That's 3 gates at the main, that's 1 gate at the natural. 4 gate blink is moving out. Hyper aggression out of Zoun. But Clem, he has a wall, he has SimCity, he's got his tank in the main base. The natural is a little bit more exposed. So far there are 2 tanks. And Clem does move out with the drop. Uh-oh. Does move out. Zoun, he will miss it. Instead reinforcing. And Zoun, can he break that natural? Does that with the bunker. Tank volley goes up. Ooh, takes down 1 Stalker. 1 Stalker does fall. You're losing a second. Second Stalker goes down. Clem is buying time. A second tank does come down to low ground. And the drop arrives at the 3rd. Zoun has to make a choice. Does go for a defensive warp in. Trying to hold on. Trades against the Marines. And he needs to find some more damage here. When you go 4 gate blink, you're quite committed. We need more damage. Does he go for the main? He tries to. Not worth it though. Yeah, it takes 2 tanks goes to the face. Zoun is forced out. And Clem holds. Clem, he's holding. And this is not enough damage here for Zoun. He needed more. Again, he delayed his 3rd base. He committed into the prism, into all these warp-ins, which is otherwise delaying his tech. And he's still not finding enough damage. Back at home, he will defend. True. Cleans up all the fire. Deals with the Reapers as well. They will lose 2 probes. But Clem is getting ready for his breakout. Get ready to break out across the map. Zoun needs more time for charge, forge +1, bait for Colossus. All the tech is still on the way. Zoun's hoping to at least contain Clem a little bit longer and slow him down. Till then, we're still just waiting on Clem to pull that trigger. Just waiting for his 3rd. Once his 3rd is done, he can start to move out. Ooh, going for a drop initially. Interesting. Does move out with a double drop. Widow mines are set. Turrets as well. Drop gets spotted. Zoun does respond. Oh. And as Zoun has Clem distracted, here comes that prism. Oh no. Oh, it's going to the Widow mines. Up. Does dip in. Mine shots they go up. He gets 1. Then not quite the other. Oh my god. Tanks the first mine shot, does get away. Does escape, does get out of there. Aye, aye, aye. Alas, at least the War Prism does survive. Behind this, Zoun getting his fourth. And still trying to maintain himself. And here comes the move out. Again, Clem, he had a beautiful defense earlier. The 4-gate blink did not do enough damage, and that has led to this game state, with Clem having a massive army lead. And his goal here, deny the fourth. Deny that fourth base. He is spotted by the Zelnaga. Zoun knows he's coming. Zoun's got 2 Colossus. He's got his 2 Colossi. Clem is moving forward. Again, that's still 4 tanks. Jesus. It's a lot of tanks. And he is not stopping. Does want to push in. At the same time, Zel run back here towards the top side. The last reinforcements, 3 SVs go down. And now we commit. Zell say charge in. They take out one of the tanks. They take out the second. 2 tanks left. Yeah, the tank count's being reset and down. He will hold. Whew. Cleans up all the tanks. He's got 3 Colossus. Now it's time to counterattack. Catching a medevac. Keeps on moving out. Keeps pushing. Clem, he's in trouble. Again, those Zells did a great job at tanking. Clem kiting back. And Zoun with 3 Colossus. We do have... I mean, we can't commit. Yeah, pushing power. Moving forward. We go the concave in favor of Clem. Mine shot does connect. That is a lot of Marauders. Likewise, Vikings moving forward as well. And where are those Zealots? The Prism is going to be shut down. The Warping is denied. Colossus will fall as well. Massive pick off. He gets 1, he gets 2. Oh my god. 2 Colossus go down. 1 remains. And Clemmy comes out ahead. Does come out ahead here. Takes a massive lead once again. Supply lead, I mean. Getting a 4th base. At least Zoun did preserve his economy, but did overextend. Did overextend here. Did lose too much. And it takes a long time to rebuild those Colossus, especially this early on when you only have 1 Robo. So Zoun is vulnerable. Now making disruptors. Second Robo's up. He has his 2 Robos. Getting another expansion. Well, there's still a lot of pressure on Zoun. Still has just the 1 Colossus. Now getting into 2. If base is going to be targeted down, that's going to be a cancel. And Clem, he is the first to max. The first to max out. The first to push. Zoun is not quite ready for this. Like, he has a comparable army size, but it's heavily reliant on these Zealots. Very Zealot heavy. Nova does graze the army. No major connection. Disruptor goes down. Make Clem, he didn't even flinch. He just walked into it. He just didn't, he just didn't care. Just stepped right up to the Nova. No fear. Didn't flinch. Keeps going. Likewise, down his supply blocks. Zell say charge in. They avoid the Widow Mines. The Mines are avoided. Colossus goes down. 0 splash damage. Now Clem can just kite back against those Zealots. There's not much to stop him. The mine shots. Ooh, brutal connections. Zealots are falling. And that's all that Zoun has to reinforce. Again, no gases. No gas at the 3rd. No gas at the 4th. None at the 5th. Just pure Zealot reinforcements. Nice catch on the bio. Does lock him down. As there are too many Vikings in this army. True. Very, very Viking heavy. So there is some dead supply. Zoun, he will reinforce. Does keep pushing. I mean, he has to. It's time to trade. Then he just stems in. Takes down the Disruptor. Cashing in Immortal as well. Brutal pickoffs. Expensive pickoffs. Remember, the gas here is quite limited for Zoun. Flanking Nova was ambitious, doesn't quite connect. But Zoun is getting on top of the ghosts. Doesn't quite get them. Ghosts are exposed for a moment. Clem is still maxed. Currently 2 disruptors for Zoun. And if he can connect, if he can take down those ghosts, then he can still overwhelm. Oh my god, the mines though. The winner mines. Shut down the Zealots, likewise nice splits previously there by Clem. As one Nova does connect. The split so far has been solid. We've had no major Novas, no major connections from Zoun. Clem is remaxed, now going to be transitioning into his own Liberators. And Zoun is just so heavily reliant on these Novas. Buying more time. Clem ready for Zealot run-bys. Try to force back the Terran. Whereas Zealots collapse in. So again, they don't quite get those ghosts. Fusion cores on the way. That should be for Liberator range. And the Liberators are arriving. They're on the way. Freedom has arrived. Here come the reinforcements. There was an opening here just because Clem's armor was so small, but that's because his armor was split. Up the Novas, they didn't connect. They still don't connect. More disruptors getting picked up. Vikings, they live for the Colossus. They bring it down instantly. The Colossus, they do nothing. They do nothing. Now, throughout all this, at least Zoun is double expanded. He's taking the center base and bottom right as well. His mass expanding. Still very mineral base. Looking forward, takes down 2 of those libs. 2 Liberators do fall, but nice spread there from Clem. He avoids the Novas, does focus them down as well. Once again, he just resets that disruptor count. Just makes this a purely Zealot army. Oh my god. Line shots are brutal. Clem securing himself, building up more libs. And the problem here is that there's no big answer to these Liberators. Typically, they would force out Skytoss or a greater Stalker army, but remember, we have limited gas. The Stalker count is very low. And the Liberator count's getting higher and higher as Clem is making 4 libs at a time. There's gonna be a lot of freedom, Pappy. A lot of freedom. A lot of liberation. On the way. Zoun looking for another way in. Brutal mine connections once again. Does take down 2 of those libs though. 2 Liberators do fall. Nice splits against the Novas. Clem is scanning. Does spot the armies. Will does spot the bases. My god. Yeah, Zoun panicking a little bit there. Novas don't quite connect. Colossus goes down once again. The splits are too good. The splits are crazy. And we haven't had a good connection yet. We just haven't had it. Zoun plummets in supply. Once again committing to the swarm toss. Liberators have denied mining time. And typically this does require a more slow and methodical approach where we use the Novas to take down the mines. Then you can move in with the Zealots. But Zoun, he's been aping in a little bit, not gonna lie. He's just been committing, just taking everything to the face. Does rotate. Does rotate towards the south. Clem is keeping up. Zoun still looking for a way in. Mining is being denied. I mean, with these ranged Liberators, I don't think Stalkers can actually get within range. I don't think they can actually deal with this. No fresh mining from Zoun. As yeah, it's not going to be easy here for Zoun. These are Stalkers to race back home. Until then, stuck on what, a one base economy. He's not mining from any of these bases. Yo, feels late game lives, man. There is no mining. There is no economy. And we still has a bank to work with, thankfully. Let's have that bank. So it's also able to collapse in. I mean, a decent Nova. Nova goes off, grazes the army. Last Clem just kiting back into the freedom zones as well, trading so efficiently. And he wants that disruptor. He wants it. Oh, Nova doesn't connect. Takes down the disruptor. Finally, one Liberator goes down. Finally. But there's still two more. The other two are still up and running. Still denying any mining. And Zoun, he's out of his bank. He's broke. Zoun is broke. He's stuck at 150 supply. He cannot keep up. He cannot maintain himself. The power of the Liberators. And Zoun, he's just run out of steam. He's run out of steam at this point. This shouldn't have happened. Does blink in, does go for the dive. He's committed. Not a bad fight here from Zoun. Cashes out some of those ghosts. But reinforcements have arrived. Thing here is that Clem he can reinforce. Zoun cannot. Oh, nice connect. Finally, let's go. Nice connection towards the end. Clem moving into the Nova. But it might just be too late. What was once, a swarm of zealots, now nowhere near as many. Still no mining, by the way. Still not happening. Clem does him in. Takes down the final disruptor. And there's just too much liberation, Bobby, everywhere. Liberation Zone's going to be thrown down. Zoun, he does commit, blinks in, and he will lose all the Stalkers. Yeah, the Stalker completely resets. Every Stalker falls, and now there's no anti-air. GG gets called, and Clem, he will overwhelm. He will take the series 5-3, and he will win the show match. GG. GG, well played. Clem, he will bounce back again. We had a crazy back and forth in the series. Clem, he started things off with a 3-0 lead. Everyone was assuming this was going to be a wash. It was like, oh my god, things looking a little bit bleak here from Zoun. But if you recall, something that I mentioned as well is that the first 3 games, Zoun never got into his own game state. Like, they were very uncomfortable games for Zoun. Game 1 and Game 3 ended real fast and real quick to early economic damage. Game 2, Zoun did max, but Game 2 was, again, a really awkward game on Neon Violet Square with Carrier Colossus. Just a really, it felt like an incomplete army out of Zoun despite being maxed out, and did lose everything, did crumble. And then he was warmed up. Then Zoun was warmed up. We had a back and forth. We were able to win 3 games in a row. That led us into Frostline. Frostline also very close. If you remember, Frostline was also a really good game for Zoun. He had a better start, a stronger start, but his production fell by the wayside. Clem did Clem things. He somehow pulled his way back into that game. He forced almost an all-in out of Zoun. It wasn't meant to be an all-in, but he had no production behind it. And Zoun, he crumbled on Frostline and led us here into Amygdala. GG, well played. Whew. Again, Zoun, his initial 4-gate blink was very lackluster in this game. He was not able to achieve too much damage across the map. Likewise, Clem, he gained map control early on, and Zoun was just in a really rough position here, trying to work with a really cheap army with a really lax economy as well, but alas was never able to really catch out Clem. As I mentioned at the time, we never really saw a big connection or a big Nova until the end of the game. Like, it wasn't until then that we saw Zoun pop off. He just had a really hard time with his Mass Zealot gaining any value. This kind of Mass Zealot style, is really effective if the Terran is pushing into the Protoss. If the Terran is moving into the Protoss player, then you can get these surrounds, you can get these flanks as well, you can get these better trades. But this Swarm Toss style pushing into the Terran, pushing into these planetaries and into these liberation zones and Sim City and bunkers and tanks and Widowmines, that is where this Swarm Toss style struggles. That is where it is lacking and where it can be really difficult to pull off. I would argue that at a certain point, once Clem was fortified with mass center towers and mass planetaries, and when he was, built up, then we would need to see a transition out of this into extra gases, into a more robust army, whether it's Storm or Disruptors, more Stalker heavy, maybe even working towards Sky Toss towards the end, especially once the Liberator gets the lib count gets too high. That's where Tempest come into play and a late game Sky Toss army. But alas, Zoun, he did commit into just mass zealots, into a low gas count. That also, the Sky Toss also helped when it comes to the Liberator harass, because there were some positionings on that map where with Liberator range, Stalkers just could not touch them. Stalkers, they could not touch those Liberators. They could not engage, and at a certain point, Zoun just ran out of money. He just, despite how he had so many bases on the map, but so little economy and so little mining. GG, well played. Regardless, congratulations to Clem, and it was a great series, a great back and forth. Honestly, I could see this going to the ace match. Again, I'm still thinking about Frostline. If Frostline had gone a little bit better for Zoun, we could have been in game 9. That would have been beautiful to go all the way to the ace match in a best of 9. Regardless, we got plenty of amazing games. And a shout out to Zoun, because Zoun, he may not have taken this series, but again, he did show that he can take it to the best player in the world. There's a reason why there's a lot of hype around Zoun. There's a lot of attention on Zoun right now, because he has only been back for a couple of months and he is looking this good, which is crazy impressive. And we'll see what he looks like in a couple of months, coming into, or even later this month, for Star Zagora. For those who do not know, coming into March, so I guess technically next month, but coming into March, that is when the Bellum Gens Star Zagora event is happening. I believe at the end of the month, and the qualifiers are taking place throughout the month. Throughout the entire month, we have qualifiers, and that's kind of the big event that everyone is practicing for. Like, everyone is getting ready for that big offline event. Right now, it's the only confirmed offline event in SE2. I misspoke. There are 2 confirmed offline events. There's Star Zagora and Home Story Cup. True. There's 2 events right now in SE2. We have yet to get confirmation as to what's happening with EWC, but at least Star Zagora is on the horizon, and that's what everyone is preparing for. Players like Clem, players like Zoun as well. So I look forward to those qualifiers. We don't have confirmation yet if we're going to be casting the qualifiers. I assume they're going to be open to the community casters. I will try to get into contact with the organizers, and if we can, we'll be all over those qualifiers as well. We'll be all over those qualifiers. Otherwise, hope you enjoyed yourselves. Hope you had a great time. And again, there's a lot to look forward to coming into March, coming into our next offline event. Going to be amazing, going to be beautiful. Otherwise, when it comes to our schedule graphic is not quite updated yet. This is last week's schedule, so I do apologize, but it should be ready for tonight. Basically, later on this week, we have our regular events, so War DCB Monday, Pig of Storm Monday as well, Sparkling Tunic Cup, so our regular weeklies are still going to be there, but we have some extra events as well. So tomorrow is going to be Little League Cup. We have Little League Cup in the evening, so tomorrow night is going to be Little League Cup number 34, day number 2. We were able to live cast day 1, but if you remember, day 2 we couldn't because we were covering the OSC King of the Hill 200th edition, the 200th anniversary of OSC. So we were busy covering another event, so we are going to be catching up with the replays of Little League Cup. That is going to be tomorrow night. Likewise, OSC Season 12 Championship. We are wrapping up the OSC Season 12 Championship this week. We're going to have 2 casts, one on Wednesday, one on Friday. So we have 2 days of OSC to crown our Season 12 champion coming into March, so we're going to be covering those matches. Likewise, this week we have the Turtle Tussle on Thursday, so that is another open cup, more at an NA friendly time zone. Around this time on Thursday, we're going to be live with the Turtle Tussle. Likewise, we have the podcast on Thursday night. As always, we have Amanthus on Friday. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to cast Amanthus over the weekend because we were busy when it comes to Twitch. For those who don't know, Twitch, they're cutting costs. Twitch, it is known that they've been struggling financially. They've been losing a lot of investors, a lot of advertisers specifically, and to cut costs, they basically are axing the VOD system, which is crazy, by the way, because honestly I don't think that's saving much money, but they are going to be cutting the VOD system. So because of that, I literally had to delete 7,000 hours worth of VODs on Twitch. It's all on YouTube anyway, but it was still a little bit sad to remove it all from Twitch. So yeah, very somber time over the weekend, and basically I spent 3 days doing that, which is why I couldn't cast, because I was sleep deprived and I just was not up for casting on Saturday. So we missed out on Amantes. We're going to be bringing it back on Saturday, so that is the plan. New What is TLMC tournament should be coming up soon. True, TLMC, the finalists have been announced for Team Liquid Map Contest. We'll be going over those maps on the podcast, and we'll most likely be hosting our own events with those maps as well. Have you thought about uploading VODs to our VOD channel on YouTube? We have a YouTube, and everything is on YouTube. We just had to delete them from Twitch. So if you're unaware, we do on YouTube, we upload on a daily basis. We have thousands of hours of content on YouTube. Again, we are live every single day. We are live more than any other channel out there in StarCraft. So we got the content, we got the quantity, and we got a little bit of the quality as well. Let's go. So it's all on YouTube. But we had to just basically double check to make sure everything was on YouTube, that we didn't miss anything. Especially early on, there were certain VODs back in like 2017, 2018. that weren't on YouTube, so we do have to set that up. But yes, we do actually stream on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. But I did have to remove it. GG well played. Zoun gonna be the best in the world. I mean, he's looking good right now. It's looking good. It's looking good. Go. Just catching up. Good Skyville, don't know why I didn't recognize this immediately. As we were mentioning, that like at a certain point a transition was required, but at a certain point he just still committed anyway. Just double down. So a lot of maps to go through. Yeah, I did hear about a lot of maps to go through. And again, most likely we're going to be updating our map pool with some new TLMC maps. Currently we're using maps from TLMC 17, so I look forward to updating that map pool as well. Do look forward to it. And look forward to going through the voting process of TLMC as well. It's going to be fun. Going to be a lot of fun. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks for support. Again, we have plenty of content on the channel as always, so do consider following. At some point, you're going to be catching us live, I'm sure, as we are live twice a day, every single day. We do actually only have one cast on Wednesdays, so that is our initiative for the new year, is to have half a day off. So we have half a day off on Wednesdays. Otherwise, we have plenty of content on the channel, and we'll see you guys in a couple of hours with the Wardy TV Monday. That is going to be, I believe, in 10 hours? No, in 9 hours. In 9 hours time, we're going to be live with some more StarCraft with the Wardy TV Monday, so look forward to that. Until then, I'm going to go edit VODs, I'm going to go schedule, I'm going to go get to work. I might have a nap beforehand. I probably should, just to make sure I'm well rested and I'm revitalized for the cast. Otherwise, we'll see you then. Otherwise, we'll see you guys later on tonight. Here we go. Anyone remember HD StarCraft? He stopped casting like over 10 years ago, mate. What do you mean? Oh my god. I did used to watch him though back in the day. HD StarCraft. Did enjoy his content. But yeah, with that, we're done for today. So thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. We do appreciate it. Again, consider following us. Consider supporting us on Patreon as well. Exclamation mark Patreon in the chat. And you'll get a link to our page where we do fund our tournaments. You can help support the community and support the scene via our Patreon, as 100% of the money on Patreon goes towards the tournaments that we host and the tournaments that we run. So thank you. Thank you so much. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in 9 hours or tomorrow, whenever you're available. As I'm sure we'll find you once again live here on Twitch or on YouTube, or on TikTok, or on Facebook, or on Kick, as we're live on all the platforms all at once. See you next time. See you next time, papi. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi. Ciao. Hasta luego. Congratulations, Clem. Congratulations. GG.